Hey everyone, welcome. This is day 8 of the October YouTube Pagan Vlog Challenge, and today's word is random thoughts. And of course, random thoughts are, well, for some people they're a lot harder than others. For me, it's hard for me to do random thoughts too, but I can still do it. I do like random thoughts, and I don't watch a lot of TV, and I don't do a whole lot. I spend a lot of time up in my brain. And sometimes that's a pain and sometimes it's not. And sometimes I'm lonely and sometimes I'm not, But because I'm a crafter, then I tend to just spend time in my brain. And I don't really like listening to music or anything because I have really severe migraines and anything can trigger it. Seriously, just anything. And I've worked really hard to make sure that my migraines stay very low. But I figured today that I would, because I'm honoring my mom a lot this month, and it just happens to coincide with the October YouTube Pagan Challenge. And so I'm going to embarrass myself for you. And I'm going to tell you a little kid story. And you may or may not have heard of it. And if you want to look it up afterwards, go for it. But I don't have a link to it or anything like that. I did look it up once a long time ago to see if I had it right. My mom used to tell it to me. And she was a verbal storyteller. So she didn't read it out of a book or anything. She just knew it and told me. I don't know where she learned it. I should ask my grandmother. That's what I should do. I should ask my grandmother today and find out if my grandma knew about it, because that might be an interesting little find. And it's something I can journal about too, because I've got my new grimoire, or not my grimoire, but my Book of Shadow journal thing that I'm going to be starting. And that could be fun, just a fun little thing to have in my journal maybe. Anyways, the story's really short, really simple, and very cute, and I'm excited because I get to tell it to my grandbabies, and I've told it to my children. I have. I used to lay on my mom's chest and listen to her tell it to me because I liked the sound of her heartbeat and the sound of her voice coming through, like the vibrations coming through her chest. And so she always used to tell it to me, and like I said, I've told it to the girls, and they've even come to me over the years, hey mom, can you tell my friend this story? And when you're doing it for little kids, it's not embarrassing. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I could do that. When you're doing it for adults, it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll tell you that story. All right, let's get some liquid coffee courage because it's morning time and it's coffee and I need it. And so yeah. And then I'll tell you. Maybe one more drink. All right, brave little toaster here. Here we go. Here's your story. One day, sit on my porch, reading my comic book, chewing my gum. Hyman came along. He was this big. I say, Hyman, what happened? Bug. Next day, sit on my porch, reading my comic book, chewing my gum. Hyman came along. He was this big. I say, Hyman, what happened? Bug. Next day, sit on my porch, reading my comic book, chewing my gum. Hyman came along. He was this big. I said, Hyman, what happened? Bug. Next day, sit on my porch, reading my comic book, chewing my gum. Hyman came along. He was this big. I said, Hyman, what happened? I burped. All right, that's the story, okay? That's the story of Herman. I don't know what Herman is, okay? I can't tell you what Herman is. I think that's why I looked it up, is because I was trying to find out what Herman was. And I'm not really sure what eats bugs, grows, and then burps, and then, isn't grown anymore. I don't really know. But it is interesting to try to, figure that out. If you know in the comments, if you've heard this story or you know a version of it, I would love to know. Seriously, I would love to know. But yeah, I don't know what Herman is. But it is a fun story, and the kids really like it. They did like it. I don't know if they still do. I don't know if, they even remember it, like now. They're, 16 and 18. So anyways, so other randomness, let's see. I finished my altar to my mom, and when I was looking for stuff, like I tore apart my office, like I told you guys, I had talked to my grandmother, and I told her that I couldn't find certain pictures and stuff like that. And she goes, oh, well, why don't you come over and we'll go through pictures. So I went to her house, and she gave me a picture of my great grandma and my great grandpa, which is her mom and dad. Her name was Mildred, and his name was John. And he was full German, full on German. Like in the picture, he's got the German mustache going on. Oh yeah. And then my great grandma Mildred, she was completely Irish. Now give me a second. I'm gonna go grab the picture because I want to show you. And I tried to do this video prior, and I tried to like turn my phone around so I could show the altar, which did not work out well. The phone turned off on me and all sorts of stuff. So instead, I'm just gonna go grab my pictures, and I'll be right back. All right, see? Easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. All right, so my grandma gave me this picture of her mom and dad, and I'd never seen pictures of them, so I think it's fascinating. And you can really see, the German, like crazy German. And I think she was telling me this was Second World War, maybe? I don't know if that was Hitler or not. I can't remember. But he definitely had the Hitler stash. Holy cow. All right, I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see. Look at that. And this was in, let's see, 1945 is when this was. 1945. And I don't know if it'll zoom in. There we go. We got a little bit of a zoom there. Do you see that stash? Holy moly, there's a stash there, isn't it? Okay. Anyways, so the story about them, interestingly enough, and it's not a very long story either, but when they got together, my grandfather had, I think it was 6 kids total, 4 girls and 2 boys, okay? He wanted boys, but he ended up starting out with girls. His first 4 children were girls. And his family was actually very well off. Very, very well off. But there came a kick with that well off. And it's that his dad was, he molested children. So my grandfather said, no, that is not going to happen. You will not be molesting my kids, even if you have money. And he left the family. And then I cut him off, of course. And then my grandmother, she was full Irish. And of course, at that time, marrying a German, that's a pretty big deal, right? So her parents were not on board. She wasn't cut off, though, I don't think. But she definitely had a hard time marrying this guy, marrying my grandfather. And so my grandma is literally half German and half Irish. And she's my hero. She really is. She's my hero. All right. And then this is my mom. I'm going to show you a picture of my mom. And there we go. Okay, there's my mom. I hope it's in focus because I can't really tell because I'm trying to do it over the phone here. But this is my mom. She stood a whopping 5 foot. I am a whopping 4'10". My youngest is a whopping 4'11". And my grandmother is 4'6". She used to be 4'8", actually. Well, she started out being 4'10", and then she's been shrinking over the years. So I think her original height is 4'10". And so that's my stuff. And I have it sitting on this cute little, at the dollar store, crazily enough, at the dollar store. I found a little, clipboard for pictures the other day, and it's got crystals and stuff in the background, and I love it. I love this thing. So that's all it is. It's just this little tiny board. I don't have a lot of pictures or anything like that. I told you I don't really go with the stuff that happens with family and death and everything. I'm just not very good at it. I didn't put a picture of my father on there because I really wasn't that close with him, and I don't want to be. I don't want that energy even here. Okay, so then the other random stuff that I've done is yesterday. I spent hours doing this. And I'm not sure if I want to or not, but I did. I did it, and I'm going to try it and everything else. I looked up, oils that you can do, like witchy oil kind of stuff. I know that I'm not a witch per se, but I do believe in energy and the properties of things and stuff like that. And I wanted to try these oils out because I like what they represent, and I like that they can be helpful to you. And I'm not big on like burning sage all the time, so I've got one that's like a cleansing negative protection one. And then I've got a little fairy one because I told you I'm fairy related, so I made a fairy one. And then I have one for the new moon and one for the full moon. And these are supposed to sit for weeks and weeks and weeks, okay? And it's because you use like the real flower stuff, you stick it in, and then the oil has to be imbued with that. And I did a mix. I did a mix of real flower stuff and real herbs and essential oils to do these, okay? So here's my fairy one. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet, and it's got flower stuff in it. I use like hibiscus and lavender and stuff like that in it. And then the essential oil I put in it was what's it called? Lang Lang or something like that. It's the flowery smelling one. I don't remember the name of it. And I'm trying to look for it. It was over here, but I don't see it now. Anyways, so that's the fairy one that I have. And then this one is my I guess would it be called an anointing oil? Like, you know, I could put it on things when I want to work, you know, in my book or candles or on my cauldron or on my altar or whatever. But this one has the sage in it. It has like, I decided to use the remnants of leftover sage as my black salt, I guess. And I put that in here, and I have real sage in here. And I have rosemary, and then like a clary sage essential oil because I like the smell of clary sage, and smells will give me migraines. Like, seriously, they give me migraines. But so this is the one that I'm going to be using for like my protection, cleansing kind of oil for different things. And I like the smell so much that I might even I would totally wear it kind of thing. And then I have my full moon one, which it has bay leaves in it, and it has different stuff to go with the full moon. I looked up herbs and crystals that would go with it. So it has moonstone in it and rose quartz, and then the herbs for it. The only herbs I changed was that I added bay leaf, and I feel really strong connection with bay leaf. I like bay leaf. I burn bay leaf daily at my altar and wish my family, you know, good days and happiness and, you know, those kinds of things. If somebody's having a particularly bad day, I burn a bay leaf and I just think of that person and give them positive energy because that's where I want the energy to go. And I think I've talked about this before. And then this one is my new moon one, and it looks different. It also has the bay leaves in it though. And this one has, new moon was garnet and, not turquoise. Peridot. That's what it is. Yep. Garnet and peridot in it. And I just took a couple of things and just added it to the little tiny jars. And I plan on anointing my, new moon and full moon candles with this, and my crystals and stuff like that when I'm doing because I want to do moon rituals. That's my goal, is to do moon rituals, and I'm just starting on this. I'm just starting to learn it and get involved with it. So that's what I did. So I have them sitting to the side over here, just, you know, chilling out. And I know that technically it won't be ready at the full moon, but I'm going to use it anyways because I still feel that it's the intention is there, and the spices and stuff are still there, and the essential oils in it as well. It'll just be stronger probably at the next full moon. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm also making some bath salts for some moon baths, and I'm super excited for that too. So this has been my randomness. I hope you enjoyed my story and looking at pictures with me. Even though it's somebody you don't know, it's okay. And I'll ask my grandma about the Herman story and see what she knows. And maybe I'll tell you guys tomorrow, okay? All right, you guys have a great day. I'm looking forward to, watching everybody's videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know you were here. And I will talk to you again tomorrow.